It was Rashad, Antonio, Calrissian kids talking about kids in space, aka Skeleton Crew,
Hmm.
Star Wars, a series on Disney Plus, episode 4. What's the name of this episode?
Can't say I remember. No, At-Attin.
All spoilers.
Question
Uh,
before we get started. Is this supposed to be a limited series, or is this supposed to be something that possibly could go multiple seasons?
I don't know. It's connected to the whole like Mandoverse
Okay.
side of the that's
So it just might
it's in that timeline. So
so it might just be a
yeah.
puzzle piece to the whole thing. Okay. I just wanted to make
Or
sure.
nothing. I really
Okay.
don't know. I'm just enjoying watching this little cute TV show
I am too.
in and of itself. Speaking of that,
Hmm.
I really enjoyed this episode. Like I really did.
Hmm.
And the way that they tricked us into thinking that they was gonna be home in the fourth episode, I was like, okay, wonder what's gonna go on now, seeing how they're home and everything.
Hmm.
But it was like, psych.
Sight.
They get to this random planet. Like when they pulled us to the planet, I was like, oh man, it looked like Earth.
Hmm.
That was the like I think the most bluest planet I've ever seen in Star Wars. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I can be wrong, but it was very blue, very cloudy. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
looks
Maybe the only other planet is Octu. That's about
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. Maybe
but
I too, but
this is
like
the most blue planet that had big land masses that we've
yeah,
seen or
yeah. I
whatever.
was like, man, it looks like a lot like Earth. So
Yeah.
of course that's what Atten looks like. So
Hmm.
we get down to the he's like, oh, there's buildings, everything. So we get down land
Hmm.
and we as the audience start to realize that this ain't at
No.
and it takes the kids a couple beats to realize this isn't at
Yeah.
all the kids except for Wim, because Wim still hasn't learned anything. Like he gets on a planet, he's going to planet. He's like, oh man, like our adventure is over. I'm like, bro, you could have died like 4 times. I need you to start looking at this like this is fun and games, please.
Rashad, I just want to reiterate how much I'm not gonna say hate. I can't stand that little kid. I can't stand Wim. Like I really, and even in real life, I can't stand super not like I understand children have some type of naivety, you know what I'm saying, naivety or whatever. His naivety annoys me, and also the precociousness. And I guess I feel this way because I'm like, you're too old to be this way because you're in middle school.
Yes.
Like if you
Yes.
like when you're a little kid, like for example, if you're watching when you're watching The Lion King and you see Simba, little cub Simba doing the things he do, you understand he's a cub. He's learning like you know where's his daddy ain't taught this boy nothing. This daddy really didn't teach this boy nothing. And I mean his naivety and his like just straight up annoyance just bothers the hell out of me. And it's the simple fact that he's in middle school and that it's still this high of a level of what he has. I'm sorry, I just had to make that clear for the people that didn't know.
No,
I
I
really
feel the
do.
same way. And so they're walking
Mm-hmm.
and everything kind of looks vaguely familiar,
Mm-hmm.
but yet it's
War torn.
yeah, but it looks like looking like like Sarajevo in the '90s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bosnia and
Oh
Herzegovina.
God. Oh
Yeah,
God. Yeah. Yeah.
Slobodan Milosevic.
Yeah. For my young
So
folk, look that up. Yeah.
yeah.
The
They was doing
Bosnian
some
Serbian War. Yeah.
ethnic cleansing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I like the setup. I said, oh, this is another planet that was like at which okay, so the episode is like this because I'm gonna speed run through this because I have
Please.
a better question to ask. So
Okay.
we meet a group of children warriors, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's Beast of No Nation.
Space Lord of the Flies. That's what it is.
And for real, and they basically asked them like what set they claim, and it was like we not in no gang. Like we don't know what's going on.
What are you talking about? I
Yeah.
I also love how they were like, "Who are you?" And this one thing I did like, Wim couldn't understand what the hell they were saying under them helmets. He was like, "Trunks, what?" Trunk. At first, I said Trunks. I said, "Where Vegeta at then?" or whatever. I was like, "This DBZ up in this day." But the kid like he was finally take the kid back with Trunks. He was like, "Oh, we don't know what the hell that is." Basically,
Nah, man. So they skedaddle. They take them. They see like some random, like it's like half like stormtrooper
yeah,
weird. I don't. It's again.
yeah,
It was like Mad Max. It's like Star Wars Mad Max.
yeah.
And for kids. So like so they dug in high and they take them back to their home little base setup. And there's this older dude. They think they about to get murked. And he's like, oh, glad you came here, blah, blah, blah. And this whole thing is this whole setup, this whole thing is a setup for Neil's character arc. So Neil and the female protagonist of the team, they kind of hit it off because Neil is not a fighter, he's a lover. So he's like, hey man, what I'm saying? Like, like back on my like they walking through the market. He said, hey man, back on my planet, it was great. I had a house, I had my parents, I got my little twin siblings.
They love me. I got a moon roof in my bathtub that and everything.
I take bubble baths like I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Like he was real, like, yo, like this. He said, this is okay. This is like Bizarro World for At-Attin. Like,
yeah. What's the name of this planet? Is
Akron.
Akron. Yeah, At-Attin or whatever. Yeah.
I'm like, yo, they like I said, whoever made these names was not even original. They was like, you know what? What's the next one? Let's just drop the C. Let's drop the T's and add C's and make it Akron. Okay, all right.
Next, we're gonna see the planet At-Attin or something. At-Attin or something. For real.
Ammon. Yeah. So either way, they're walking through and they sit down. It gets to the point where they like got like the little food line. You know what I'm saying? Hanging in the chow line. Good times. Ain't we lucky we got them? And they're passing out food. And Neil is like, thank you, but hey, little random kids, are y'all hungry? And they was like, yes, sir. More, please.
Please, sir. Like, what I said, what in the Oliver Twist is going on right here?
Charles Dickens is happening in here. Yeah. So he gives them the food, and like she sees that like people can actually be kind because they're so used to, of course, surviving. So they always in survival mode. And if you want to be very technical about it, when a child is in survival mode, that messes up how their brain works. So they're always in survival mode. You have to be retrained to relax. Yeah. And she's like, oh man, like he sat down a little less. Like, look, man, like I understand, like it's rough out here, but like, people actually can be nice. And I'm that type of guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, I think that's why we love Neil. Neil is our favorite character probably on this show, man, because Neil's like, hey, I just want to go home. I want my life back, and I just want to be a good person, and I just want to do what I need to do. I don't need all this fantastical nonsense that my idiot best friend Wim have and everything. He's like, I'm looking at things in the aspect of what we said last week, that this is almost like a communist society that's on At-Attin. He's like, listen, this is what we got to follow to keep the status quo. Fine, I'm here with it.
Yeah. So think about it. Like, I'm glad you made that point, because while we have space communism, over here we have space anarchy. Yeah. So there's the diametrically opposed views of living. Yeah. And these kids are getting to see, like, look, it ain't the same everywhere you go. Like, y'all were very sheltered in how you guys were living. And even the way that the planet was set up, that planet was hidden too. Because there was clouds around it. It looked like the same type of like setup and everything. So when they go into the atmosphere, like, oh yeah, we home.
Yeah. And they had like a satellite barrier that was like it was cloaking it or something like
definitely.
that.
So the whole setup was the same. Meantime, the other kids are trying to shoot and prove their way to get to this to the, I forgot what they called it. It's essentially the tower that the supervisor's tower from
Fallen Sanctum.
Fallen Sanctum. You know what I'm saying? That sounds very Lord of the Rings to me. So they're trying to like say, hey, there could be some maps over there.
I'm sorry.
So forth.
You know what it sounds like.
What?
Domain expansion.
Oh my god, yo.
Fallen Sanctum. I'm sorry.
I can see Gojo doing that. All right. So the other kids are trying to prove that they're worthy and they can fight, and they're trying to shoot targets and stuff, and they figure it out and they do it. Other side, back at the ship, Space Jew Law and the robot he said, hey man, like, where's the treasure at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's trying to tell him, look, yo, like, I don't know no At-Attin. So he keeps repeating this over and over again. And then the people who the kids dipped on, they found them. And they end up taking them. And eventually the kids prove themselves worthy to fight. So they have to lead an actual fight. They put the kids on the front line. Because the old dude was like, look, man, over here, we value our kids and we know they fires and warriors, so we treat them as such. And they was like, what? Like nah, we just kids, and nah, y'all are fighters. So they end up meaning.
Go ahead. I love how Neil, because Neil is just like right before the battle happens, because also during this time period, Jod and SM-33 are captured by the other group that said war with this group, and they're basically fighting over Eopes or whatever, like the giraffe, antelope hybrid,
I don't know
thing, whatever. It's whatever. That group that found Jod and SM-33 stole the group the kids had Eopes, and they're supposed to be having this battle. And what I love most about this is Neil stays who he is. He's like, hey, maybe we can talk this out with these guys. You know what I'm saying? Everything doesn't have to be a battle, a fight or anything. And they're like, no, this and that. And then what ends up happening, Rashad, somewhere along the line, Jod and SM-33 took out those other they took out those other things and freed the Eopes back to the people.
That's what it seems. I mean, he said that, like, they love a good negotiation.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what exactly he negotiated, but yeah.
Was it the Padme style of aggressive negotiation that we know how she did, or was it just a, hey man, we about to find some treasure and we'll break y'all off some of this treasure that we got here or whatnot?
So, so they end up meeting back up and they go to the Fallen Sanctum, and they get up there and they see pillars very similar to the picture thing in the middle, and then all the planets around it, and it looked like, oh, this is something, this is the planet that we're on right now. And then it goes to where it should be At-Attin, but it was like lasered out. And then they was looking around. They talked to Smee. He was like, yo, Smee, what happened? And Smee starts to talk, like, hey man, like my captain said, we got to erase all, all proof that of this place at. And then it was like, well, I'm the captain. That's what Colin said. Fern was like, I'm the captain. And he said, well, my captain said if somebody ever said that, then I should be killing them.
Right. Because remember what happened first. she was all sad and stuff like, I'm a horrible captain. And she goes to idiot women, was like, yo, you should have been captain. He was like, and
No.
Wim, this is the first thing Wim said, hey, yo, we wouldn't have got this far if I was in charge.
Yeah.
You just
That was his first moment of actual
of
of
clarity.
clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just she was like, oh, and then she realized something. So she goes him and says, where's that at? And he repeats basically what is the title of this. Can't say I remember no At-Attin. And he's like, and then she's like, it seems like, yeah, he said, last I was here, any information about this or whatever. And she said, you got to listen to the captain because that was a captain's order. She said, well, I'm the captain and I'm ordering to you to do a memory reboot. And SM33 and Rashad said something right here that a lot of people have not picked up about this. SM33 basically is Smee from Peter Pan, Captain Hook's right hand man. I mean, that's what they say. That's what his basically character is based off of. And then he was like, oh, yeah. We know where At-Attin is. Yeah, my captain said that if anybody comes along, also says anybody comes along and asks about At-Attin and ask about the treasure, I need to basically tear them limb from limb. And she was like, whoa, relax. I'm your captain. He was like, no, my man basically goes like super robot sand and gets all huge. It grows all huge and everything. And he's about to really kill these kids.
I was like, oh man, they kill a kid. This is gonna be great, but I know they wasn't gonna kill no kid.
I know how Rashad feels about that. But what happened? Our boy Neil said, hey, yo, chucks a piece of metal at him and say, yo, leave my friends alone. That kid. That's when Neil realizes, maybe I shouldn't have did that. But hey, that's Neil's little hero arc.
Such a good little character arc for him.
Just walks up on him and he's about to do something. And then John just says, boop, go from the back, flip a switch and says, hey, when all else fails, to hit the off switch. Speed falls down and basically pins Neil down. I'm pretty sure Neil probably itched himself because Neil said, oh boy. And just he proceeds to do possibly the most Neil thing on this show. And he faints. And that's the end of the episode for real.
Yeah.
I mean, very simple
yet effective
episode. Yeah
it was good. Like excuse me, like I really enjoyed it. I was like, man, this is like real. It was dare I say heartwarming. You know what I'm saying, like right, watching Neil's character arc in that episode.
This show has grown on me. I remember I told you, Rashad, the first time I was watching that.
You hated the first episode, yo.
I said, "Oh my god, this is some bullshit." Like I said, I was like, "Hey, this is rough to watch. This is rough to watch." And I said, "Okay, this is actually growing on me." And now that I'm seeing more of it, it is definitely giving vibes of our childhood, Rashad. You know, we are, know, us being kids born in the early 80s, as far as like 1880, 1981. And seeing these like, and I know how much you hate them, Rashad, coming of age stories with, you know what I'm saying, with these kids and going on an expedition or an adventure, and they're just trying to find their way home, which was just about every 80s kids movie.
Yeah, everybody's lost. There's a little movie called The Lost Boys. So yeah, yeah.
So what are your questions from this, Rashad?
My question is, who is behind these planets? Because and even that, which planet was first?
Right.
So because we go back to the episode, we saw that Neil was pointing out, hey, this is the library, this is the school, this is that, this is in my home, that's the communication tower. So he was pointing, the supervisor's tower. So he was pointing out everything that was on At-Attin, because it was an exact facsimile of At-Attin. So my question is, who was behind making these societies and why were they doing it? Because that's, to me, like, them getting back home is cool. We know they're gonna get back home. John Watts is directing the last episode. He's gonna tie it up. But what is really going on behind the scenes that made
Right.
who these people make these random daggone planets and have people on it. What is their purpose with these planets,
Uh-huh.
and why are they trying to hide them from the rest of the known galaxy?
You know what this is almost like for me, what you just said with that, and then you thinking about it. This is almost like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with the high evolutionary and the different,
Oh,
say
yeah, I can see
creating the
that.
different societies and stuff like, stuff like that. But yeah, like I'm really curious to see like who's behind. Basically, what we're trying to find out is who's the supervisor that we keep.
Because, like, yo, because think about it like this, because you had to find people
Mm-hmm.
to take to these places. They
Mm-hmm.
had to agree. It's almost like some sort. Tony, it's space slavery at this point, because
Yeah.
especially if you have a group of people on at Akron and you left them there with
Mm-hmm.
nothing, just the
Yeah.
planet. And it's like, you know what, we're done with our experiment here. Y'all figure it out. And they devolved into
Primitive. Yeah.
anarchy.
Uh-huh.
So, we gotta survive by basically killing each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, again, it's like Space Mad Max for kids. So yeah. So if it is this, quote unquote supervisor,
Mm-hmm.
who are they? What
Right.
is their purpose? Where are they right now?
Right.
And how come they aren't really revealing themselves? Like it's that's the real questions for me.
Because even on At-Attin, the parents know about the New Republic.
They have an idea. You know what I'm
They have
saying?
an idea. They could remember they was like, hey, can we get the New Republic involved in it, you know what I'm saying, in trying to help us find these kids? And I just really want to know what's up with Wim's dad. Because the last episode we saw, he had his look and he's giving signs that he knows more than he's putting on. You know what I'm saying? He's putting on.
Yeah,
Ah,
Mr. Wendell himself.
right. I also want to know who the hell is Smee's captain?
Really good question.
Who was the original captain?
And
And I
is the captain dead on the ship?
right. Or maybe is the captain the supervisor? That's why At-Attin got erased. Like, hey, I'm retiring on this planet. I'm making this, you know what I'm saying? It's because
It's so many ways you can go about answering that question.
right.
Because I can't lie. This mystery
Uh-huh.
has been better executed than every mystery and that was in Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Like, because the mystery in Ahsoka is Sabine going to be a Jedi
Right.
at the end of the series?
Right.
It should have been no. But yeah, the way that they're framing this story wise,
Mm-hmm.
it's just been really strong. Like strong, like watching it for me. Like they
Yeah.
really took their time, and they're pacing this in a way where, even though on a normal series, this would be like a glorified filler episode.
And you know what this also makes me feel like too? It makes me feel like that Filoni himself might have his hands a little more dabble into this because he's like, I need stuff to make sense if this is going to tie into my Mandalorian verse movie that is about to, you know what I'm saying, that's about to drop in what, 2-3 years, or you know what I'm saying, 2 years or something like that.
Yeah, because we get Mando and Grogu like in 2026.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be a movie, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
turning that season into
that's
a
a
movie.
movie, and then we're supposed to get the culmination of the whole
Uh-huh.
Mandoverse after that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. Like those questions to me are like really is what's keeping me coming back to this to this series, and
Mm-hmm.
also the um the inner workings of the kids. Just they make sense. Like, even as much as we hate Wim, not because of the
Yeah.
character or the actor's
Mm-hmm.
doing a great job
Actor's doing a great job doing,
being an
yeah.
asshole. Like, that's
Yeah.
his whole point. But everybody is like really everybody's doing their thing. I can't even lie. Like, it's
Yeah.
and Jude Law is really. I didn't realize how funny he was.
Mm.
Jude Law is being because he never plays like a funny role. He's always like a villain or
Yeah.
like somebody hard up. Or he's trying to be like he like for a minute he was trying to be the hero in movies, but like he's really playing like space stepdad, and
I think the
that's
closest
good.
thing I've seen him in to do something like that. What's the movie? AI with Haley Joel Osment, where he's like the artificial. What do you know, Joe? He's the robot? That's the closest thing, but he wasn't really trying to be funny. He was, so he was like programmed to try to do things. But you're right. It's him. It's him, basically being that character that the kids are like, we don't trust you, but we like you. And it's like we don't, and he's trying to prove like, hey, I'm not that bad of a guy, but in reality, he kind of is a bad
He's trash.
person.
He's trash
Yeah, he's
because
a trash person.
we still see that he's trying to get an ad for the treasure. Obviously, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. At the beginning with
Yeah.
Shmi, at the end of the episode, they was happy because he saved them. So
Mm-hmm.
now that dynamic of trust starting to shift in his favor.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see episode 5, like, one, where they go, and then 2, like how that
Right.
dynamic changes in regards to how they feel about him and how he
Right.
feels about the team.
And then also too, you got to remember as well, his old space pirate crew is after them too as well.
They are.
They're going to come back up into this, and then on top of them coming back, I'm pretty sure the notorious KHYMM Kim is going to be coming back with this, along with her notifying
The New Republic.
the New Republic
Yeah.
of Crimson Jack and stuff. So yeah, we still have a ways to go.
We got 4 episodes left.
Yeah, so this was the midpoint episode right here.
Yeah, and it's a good midpoint. I can't even lie. Good midpoint episode.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's all.
That's all I got, man.
That's all I got too as well, man. So
definitely check us, man. Oh yeah, next week, hectic week because it's the holidays. Hey, this next episode, number 5, is gonna be late. I'm just gonna let y'all know right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna try our best to get the finale of the Sleeper series of the year, Doom Prophecy, out at least by Tuesday.
Yes.
I'm hoping Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
We should also have our year in review episode out for you. I'm gonna try to. Hopefully, we can record that like this weekend or like Friday or whatever, if at all possible. And then so we can have that, so we can get you guys, because I know like after Christmas is over, you're not gonna want to talk to your people no more. You're gonna want to sit here and we'll let you review the year with us. Hopefully on like the 26th, 27th. And then when the holidays is over, we'll get back to our regular schedule. Top of the year, we got some announcements to make. We'll let y'all know when stuff is solidified. And we'll tell y'all everything that we're gonna probably be reviewing in our 2025 episode, which will release probably that first or second week in January.
Also, on top of that, we're also going to do a whole series wrap up of the final season of What If. They'll probably come out.
What If starts on next Sunday, and it's one a day for 8 days. So it's like from the 22nd, like the end of the month.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we'll probably do like the first week. We'll do a complete wrap up on that. Tomorrow, we got something special for y'all. We got something special. As some of you may know, the teaser trailer for Superman, James Gunn's Superman, the first movie of the new Gunn DC universe, is dropping. The first teaser. Me and Rashad, we will be doing a recap and a review of this. Rashad will also, earlier in the day, do a reaction. Maybe. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to put that pressure on him. We had this conversation. Possibly
might do a reaction to that.
Might do a reaction to it or whatever. I'm not gonna be able to do it or whatever like that. So he's gonna do maybe tentatively to that. But tomorrow night we are
for certain 7 p.m. We're gonna have
a review
and
our thoughts on on that. Yeah.
Also, War of the Rohirrim, Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
anime Friday.
Friday. That definitely will be Friday. I will finally get a chance to see this movie tomorrow as well. So y'all, you know what I'm saying? We got some things cooking up, like you said. We're here for the people, man, and we do this because we love it. And then, you know, we do this for people who just like to hear us give our opinion, no matter what you think. If you love our opinion, cool. If you hate our opinion, cool.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't here to
Either
block.
way.
We're not here to block you unless you give us some negative racist or any other type of. So that's the only way you get blocked around here. We ain't
Everybody
tolerate
else,
that.
man, we'll let you talk. But yeah, we will see you guys again tomorrow at 7.
All right. Peace out, y'all.